on watching. This is purely for myself to practice the Hangouts on Air and to see how I can actually edit this afterwards from YouTube. So this is not really a public where I'm asking for participation or Q&A. I'm using this purely as a test for myself. I wanted to, for those that had never done any Hangouts and just wound up on the Viditude YouTube channel, what you see on the bottom is one of the apps you can add in, which is the lower third. You can use one of the ones that they already set up for you, or you can create your own. I went with creating my own because I wanted the white band to be a little more opaque than what the standard one allows you to do. It also pulls into the Viditude color scheme, because that's what's also important, is to always remember that the Google Hangouts on Air is you, and it should be your means of branding, which of course means I have some water with me in my Viditude mug. Always have water with you. You should have that available anytime you're doing any sort of public speaking, and view your Hangout as a public speaking. The other thing you'll notice is I'm not centered. I am centered myself more for a photograph or for videoing, which is at one of the cross points of a tic-tac-toe board. In fact, actually, I should probably be moved over a little bit more so. And the reason why I do this is so that if I can edit, I can use my back wall to post call-outs to emphasize what was said on the Hangout. So I recommend not being straight in the middle all the time, but to move yourself a little bit aside so that you can actually edit it more later. The next point is make sure what's on your wall is something that you don't mind being in your broadcast. Think about your stage. Make sure you have a spot where you can add call-outs. It doesn't have any glare from lights, whether it's your office lights or any sort of camera lights. Make sure it's not glaring against maybe a whiteboard you might have. Or what I've noticed a lot of people doing, they put a backdrop without ironing. And that's as bad as having wrinkled clothes. Wrinkles really show up on video, and think of a Hangout on Air as a video. So if you have a background where you just decide to hang some sort of curtain, or I've seen some people use basically party liners of some sort, and you can see the fold marks, do a quick iron. It'll just make it look that much better, because wrinkles like that are distracting to the eye, especially if you're doing a quick Q&A. What broadcasters have learned is they need to change the actual image about every 10 seconds. If you're just doing a question and answer and all you're doing is just talking like a talking head, people are going to get bored. Now, they may keep it on and just listen and start doing some other stuff in the background, but then you do not have their entire attention. So think about changing, which is another reason why I'm planning on adding the call-outs. The other point I noticed is, and this is something a habit I need to break, is that when you have your Hangout on Air, you're looking at you, and the camera is looking higher. So if I'm looking at me, I'm looking down all the time. And no one wants to look down. They want to see your eyes. They want to see your expressions. So remember to look at the camera. So this is a very quick Hangout on Air to test the edibility of it. And all I talked about was don't sit straight in the middle, have water, and think of branding. I'm Pat Ferdinandi, video strategist for Viditude, and I plan on using these quite often and talking about how Hangouts on Air can be used for your business. Until next time, let me play and see if I can edit this.